G'day guys, this is your Admiral speaking, and welcome to episode 2 of the Captain's Table. Sorry it's been a long time between drinks. Had quite a bit going on in my life at the moment. I think the last video I put out was before Christmas. I was going to try and get another one up before I went on holidays, but unfortunately it didn't happen. As most of you, I'm sure, also have a full-time job. Some of you have a full-time family, as I do, and I have a wife who's very heavily pregnant at the moment. So if it's been a while since you heard my dulcet tones, then I do apologise. And on that note, I would like to say Happy New Year to everyone. I hope everyone had a really good Christmas, an enjoyable holiday. Today, going to talk about a few things. Going to talk about patch 0.7.0, the upcoming patch 0.7.1, as well as a few other little bits and pieces and projects that I'm working on. So, to kick it off, we'll talk about the last patch, 0.7.0. It dropped, almost 2 weeks ago now, and it wasn't a bad patch. We got new patches and emblems in the game, which everyone is now working towards. That's been, I'll say, an enjoyable experience. I've managed to unlock all the patches. I'm just working on the emblems now. Working on predominantly on the German eagle emblems is what I'm working on at the moment. So. But yeah, trying to get wins when you really want them, much less wins where you're scoring top 3 when you really want them, is proving a little tricky at the moment, but I'm just plodding away at it, doing my best, and we'll see how we go. I imagine once French battleships enter the game, then might have an opportunity to rack up the French emblems as well, which I think also look pretty good. So, but yeah, it adds another dimension to the game, and I really enjoy it. Personally, I like to see Wargaming take it one step further and allow us to apply our personal patches or emblems to our ships within the game. Very similar to World of Warplanes and World of Tanks, where you can put artwork or flags on the actual vehicle itself. I know in planes and tanks you can do that. So yeah, something like that in World of Warships, where you can apply your own emblem or patch to either the bow of your ship or the engine stack. I think, or both even, I think would be really, really good. But I guess we'll have to wait and see on that one. It's just a nice thought. Maybe they could put it in the upgrades selection tab, so where you've got your concealment expert, your steering gear mods, and your damage control. You have an extra 1 or 2 spots after that where you can permanently assign various crests or emblems to either the bow and or the smokestack of your ship, just to give it a little bit more personality, make it a little bit more individual. And yeah, I think it would just, I don't know, brighten your ships up a little bit cosmetically. I mean, you know, we've got all the different camos and stuff, but I think to be able to display your own personal emblems on your ships, I think that would be a step in the right direction, I think. So we'll just have to wait and see on that one. The training room has now been implemented, finally, which kind of makes the training room video I did back in December a little redundant. So it's good that features now in the game. Not quite the same as it was beforehand. When you go in there, you can't make the opposition or bot ships move or fire or anything like that like you could before. I think the reason behind that is that they want people to go into co-op if they want that sort of experience. Do I agree with this? No, I don't. I think, you know, we should be able to program the bots in the training room to move and fire like they would in a regular battle. But yeah, it's that thing, they want people to spend the time in co-op going against other ships, but unfortunately the economy, I think, needs a bit of a rework, because once you get to tier 8 in co-op you start losing money quite drastically, so it's a little bit silly in my opinion. Hopefully, you know, enough people kick up a stink about it and they do change it, but I honestly can't see that happening anytime soon, which is unfortunate. Having said that though, you can invite other people into the training room and have them move around and shoot at you. If you want to sort of practice different scenarios or things like that with your friends. My clan and one of our friendly clans, or allied clans if you will, we teamed up together in the training room, I think on the weekend, just for a few friendlies prior to the new season of clan battles, and that was a lot of fun. Not everyone had tier 10s, so we ran it in tier 8s and it was quite successful, and then we had a few games where we were just mucking around having fun. I think one game we did all Mikasa's and Nassau's with secondaries only could be used. That was very entertaining, and then we all used German battleships at tier 8 to 10 secondaries only, just to see what it would be like, and yeah, that was a lot of fun. So we look forward to doing that with those same guys again sometime in the near future. The Missouri is going to be departing World of Warships soon, unfortunately. Well, departing from the store anyway. If you've still got it, you're not going to lose it, but that's unfortunate for those that don't already have it or haven't had a chance to get it yet. I'm lucky enough to have the Missouri. I did dip into my pocket a little bit in order to get it. I think about 3 or 4 months after it came out, I think I'd saved about half the free XP, and it just went, yeah, no, I'll convert the rest. And that ship has served me well. I've really enjoyed playing the Missouri, and I hope to continue to enjoy playing it in the future. In its place is well, it's already been released, is the Musashi, Tier 9 Japanese battleship, sister ship to the Yamato, lost at the Battle of Leyte Gulf in 1944. This ship, yeah, there's going to be differing opinions on this ship. I've heard the good, the bad, and the ugly. As far as this ship is concerned, so much to the point where a friend of mine has actually submitted a ticket to Wargaming requesting a refund because he feels that the ship just underperforms, and Wargaming have come back and said, nope, not going to happen. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out after he continues writing more letters. I wish him the best of luck with that, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to look into getting the Musashi at some point, more so for the sake of completion than anything else. I'm a big fan of the Yamato class battleship. I always have been. I'm currently working on a book about the Yamato class, albeit very slowly. I need to put some more time and effort into that, I think. I'm about to take 6 weeks of leave, so that should hopefully give me a bit of time to do that. But yeah, Musashi, I will look into getting it. I do want to spend some time getting all my other ships to tier 10 first. I've only got 4 left to go. I've got to get the Grozavoy, the Yu Yang, Midway, and Hakuryu. I'm almost there with 3 of them. I've got 3 of those lines are at tier 9, and it's only the Japanese carrier. I'm at tier 8 in the Shikaku, which I'm actually thoroughly enjoying at the moment. I've played a few games in the Shikaku now and had a fairly good run in them, so hopefully that will continue and I can get the Taiho and continue that trend. So we'll just see how we go on that. I did manage to pick up the Roma with the last patch, and I have to say I am completely in love with that ship. It is absolutely fantastic, money well spent. People talk about the guns being trollish and, you know, inconsistent. I personally haven't found that. I've had quite a bit of success with that ship. I'm averaging around about 100,000 damage a game. and she competes well at tier 10. I've got a video in the works which I'm hoping to release sometime in the next few days, or at least sometime over the weekend, with some gameplay, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about the history of the ships. So my previous replays from this point onwards, they're going to take a slightly different format. I do want to talk briefly about the history of some of these ships that I'm showcasing. I love history, especially naval history. I like learning about events and ships and people and all that sort of thing. So yeah, stand by for a little bit of a rework as far as my replay videos go from now on. And I think it's only going to make the experience better for everyone. So you get to learn something and get to see a replay, hopefully a decent one. So yeah, stand by for that. That's going to be good. Okay, next patch, 0.7.1. I played it on the PTS, and given the quality of the people who play on, well, some of the people who play on the PTS, unfortunately I wasn't able to rack up the necessary wins to unlock the Alsace. So I kind of just gave up in the end and went back to playing on my live account. But having said that, you know, French BBs, they're coming. I am really looking forward to seeing some of those ships, especially from tier 7 to 10. From what I've seen so far, I really don't want to sell any of those ships when I get the next tier up. I will be looking at keeping a lot of those ships. So yeah, it's something I'm really looking forward to. Along with that, some new maps as well, reworks of a couple of old ones, Trap and Tears of the Desert, or Tears of the Cruisers as it's more affectionately known, and a new one called Sleeping Giant. I played one game each on the new Tears of the Desert and Sleeping Giant. A little disorientating at first, trying to work out where you need to position yourself and what the best position is to get into. But I think, like the last two brand new maps that were released, Ring and Haven, I think it's going to be one of those things. It'll take a couple of weeks for a lot of people to get used to, and then people will learn how to play them. They'll become second nature, and it's going to be pretty much a non-issue. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how those new maps play out in the next patch. Now, some of the final points I want to talk about today. I have started a podcast with a couple of mates from my clan, and we are hoping to get the first episode out in the next couple of days. It too is also called The Captain's Table, because, well, we just like the name, and there's three of us, and we're discussing all things World of Warships. That's pretty much what it is. So with the next Captain's Table video, I will supply a link to that, and you can check out the podcast, and hopefully you'll like it. So that's something we're going to be looking at doing on a fairly regular basis, either weekly or fortnightly. Certainly no longer gaps between episodes as far as that's concerned. I think our goal is to at least get an episode out weekly if we can, but if in the beginning I get one out, say, once a fortnight, then that will be sufficient in my opinion. I've also started a Patreon page as well for anyone who wishes to help me out a little bit. What I am trying to do is I'm trying to save some money up for a SSD for my computer. I don't have one at the moment. I only have a standard hard drive, which makes it very difficult to stream. I lose a lot of frame rate when I'm trying to stream on Twitch, and so the quality isn't that great. So there's nothing wrong with my graphics card, my processor, or my internet connection, but it's the hard drive itself is proving to be a bit of an issue. So I am trying to raise some funds in order to get a new hard drive. I will provide a link to my page at the end of this video, and also in the comments section down below. So please, if you think that's something you could help me out with, then please do so. Where I sort of want to take I guess my online presence to further down the track is improving the quality of the videos that I'm producing, and certainly doing this Captain's Table series, and sort of reworking my ship replays is one step towards that. I want to be able to stream and interact with you guys live as well. And then eventually I want to get into the VR space, so I can look at making videos, whether it be War Thunder VR or Star Citizen, which is another game that I'm slowly getting into, but again having issues running that due to not having an SSD. So there's a number of other things sort of going on at the moment that, you know, I'd like to be able to do, but I just can't at the moment because my system needs an upgrade. So as I said, I'll provide the links to the Patreon page. Please feel free to check it out. You can donate as much or as little as you want, but every little bit helps, and I want to thank you all in advance for your contribution if you feel the need to do so. So on that end, that wraps up today's video. Thank you very much for watching. I will try not to leave it as long before I release the next Captain's Table video, probably looking at 2 weeks maybe, just prior to the next patch dropping, or after I've played the next PTS. So we'll see how that goes. As I mentioned earlier, my wife is very pregnant and is due pretty much from any time now onwards, so my life is going to get a little bit more full, I have no doubt, but I am still committed to trying to get as many of these videos out as I possibly can. So anyway guys, thank you very much for listening. I really appreciate your support. Take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you all later. Ciao.